Good afternoon, everybody from chilly South Florida. It is 1:12 Monday. This will be the first video of the week. I'm back to normalizing and stabilizing myself over here with 2 videos a week. So eager to get back to it. A lot of interesting stuff to go over today. I think this is going to be quite insightful. I have some demonstrations I want to point out, almost like sharing in elementary school. This is kind of cool. So let's everybody take a breath here and understand the market that we're in. There's been a lot of panic. There's been a lot of things said. We had obviously a really nasty day Friday. We had the weekend of Bitcoin sell-off. We had the futures last night. There's been a ton of shit, and yet the market today is up almost a point. So let's take a step back. Let's try to analyze this. Let's not get too crazy. So the first thing I want to touch on is the NASDAQ. As I always say, the NASDAQ is the main leading indicator for the market, and I trade with the tailwinds. So we've come. Let's keep things. Let's zone out a little bit from trough to peak from here in April to where we're at here. You can always expect some give back. Give back has not been not much at all. There's been very little give back. We had Friday's nasty day that took us down. Thursday, we kissed the all-time high and came down. And we're now still, we're right above, we are still right above the major moving averages. So really, without going too technical, I don't want to dig into it to a point to where no one understands what I'm saying. I'm giving this to you. We did not form a head and shoulders. We are still looking for a break to the all-time high. I'm not somebody that's going to predict, but rather I would assume, or I would consider an all-time high imminent very soon. I'll say it like that. Okay. So moving away from that, let me move this here. Now let's go into Bitcoin, because everybody's talked about Bitcoin. I do not have the indicators up here. There's a couple indicators that I did want to point out. I did not have them up here. So one of the main drivers in Bitcoin when you look at things is the MA 100. So that's the month 100 average. It lost that over the weekend. It's not pictured here, but it lost that. Obviously, you could see it's below all these major moving averages, and you could see this violent sell-off over the weekend. The world is up in arms. Everybody's going crazy. They think this time it's different. I mean, I'd be one to say I don't think this time is different. I think I've seen this movie enough times to know this is par for the course. I don't think Bitcoin's going anywhere. I personally am somebody that's buying this. Though I will say, if I had to gamble where I think Bitcoin is going to finally carve out a bottom, I'd say it's in the 70 range, maybe 65 to 70. I think it's going to carve out a bottom there. I did buy, and I mentioned it over the weekend, a couple friends, I did buy a little bit on like a rebound trade. So I am trading this a little bit more than I normally do. I do think this is going to have a little relief rally, probably up to this area. It's going to be a little dead cat bounce. It's going to sell off again. That is my assumption. I don't know if it's going to happen or not. I don't trade Bitcoin enough to really program it in. I am going to point out something, though, that is important. This is the United States average cost basis for their U.S. spot ETF. It lost it over the weekend. So that means the Bitcoin is trading below their cost basis. My gut tells me that the United States will not want to let that sit there. Not that they can't necessarily, like they have the influence to change that. I just don't think that will bode well for the balance sheet. And I do think you're going to see some relief. If I were to gamble, I'd say we will get into this area here, and then we're going to have another push down. That's my opinion. I think we're going to get a dead cat bounce. So I am kind of banking on a quick trade. All right. Another demonstration I want to point out for everybody that thought Friday was doomsday in the stock market. Here is a statistical chart. I always like to say that history doesn't necessarily repeat, but oftentimes it rhymes, as Mark Twain famously said. When you have a 10% drop in 2 days, which happened on Thursday and Friday, when you bought that, statistically, your returns have always been fruitful. Again, I'm not a buy the dip guy. I did buy the dip on Thursday. I bought some things on Friday, which I'm going to go into. but they've historically been very fruitful. Take that for what it's worth. It doesn't mean to just go out there recklessly and buying garbage stocks. I mean, that's not what you want to be doing. But just a little bit of information there so you guys can see. And I did take advantage, and I did buy Thursday, and I did buy Friday. Okay. Now, I digress. Gold. We're going to touch on gold real quick. Obviously, as you can see, Thursday, all-time high, down. Friday, one of the largest down days in history. I think the statistic was 1932 or 1938, I think it was the largest down day in gold. I don't think gold is done here. I did hit my target of 5,000. I've been on record. 5,000 was my target. I eased up. I got out of the miners. I was a week early, not because I'm good at this, but probably more so because of luck than good. And I also, I'm not greedy. Pigs get slaughtered, and I had a lot of profits in names like AU. I had a ton of profits. I sold this. This has come down now, $15. AG, which I pointed this one out weeks and weeks ago. I mean, this hit $28 down to $20. So, I was fortunate enough. I got out of those. So I don't think this is done. You see this is a major support level at the 50. I'm a buyer soon. Not yet. I own precious gold, hard gold. I don't, apologies there. I own the gold, the precious metal itself, the bars. I also trade the GLD. Let me just point out the GLD real quick. So just zone out for a second. You had a run from August of 301 to 511. Okay. It's more than a $200 move in the share price in less than a year. Okay. This isn't done just yet, though people want to say this could be a temporary top, but you had to expect volatile moves or aggressive moves to the upside are going to be met with aggressive moves to the downside. Look somewhere in this radius here for support. That would be, that's the 5. No, that is where I would look, is the 410 area, which is the 50. I would expect to bounce in this area. It is still technically in the channel. So I don't think gold's done. Take it for what it's worth. I'm going to be a buyer soon once again. Silver. I don't think silver's done, but I'm not buying silver. Silver, really just violent move. You got to stay away from this. Let the selling go. And for the record, I'm not buying gold right now. I'm just letting it simmer. The setup will come to us. Okay. Now, let's keep going. Let's now move into some of the data. You could see the headline behind me, stocks climb, small caps, whatnot. Also, let's talk about the Fed chair that Trump appointed, Steve Warsh. So I think that was met with it definitely was met with a lot of negativity on Friday because I don't think the market understood how to take it. Look, I think this is a good thing. I think it's a good thing in many ways because he's not overly dovish. He's not overly hawkish. I think he's gonna be a good balance for the Fed chairs. I know Bostic, which is one of the other Fed chairs, he's talking right now and he's going on a ramble. You couple that with the PPI data on Friday wasn't great, and it's going to push the market down. It is still my humble opinion. I don't need to say my humble opinion. I'm the one saying it, but I see us going higher. You ride the trend until the trend breaks. Like, look, obviously from somebody. Oh, sorry. You take a zone. You zone out a little bit, right? If you lose this low here, probably there, you become a little bit. You go from green to yellow, and maybe potentially a low here would definitely be a low where you go to red. That would be your line in the sand for sure. But I think anything above there, you're still on green. All right, let's go to what's working and what's not working. All right, so I know some stocks got buried. What am I looking at? What did I buy? I got into Micron. I wasn't going to on Friday. I texted a couple people at the end of the day. I had to buy it. up today 6%. So I bought this on Friday. I think this is not done. I like Micron. I think Micron's going to be one of these stocks that's going to give you $600-700 by the end of the year. So I bought Micron on Friday. I am in this now, and I'm up 6%. Whoop-de-doo. So yeah, I've traded that stock multiple times over the years. Okay, let's see what we're still got here. AMD. I mentioned I got back into this. Here's the thing. They announced their earnings tomorrow. Here's what I'm probably going to do. I'm going to lighten my position. I'm hoping tomorrow. I'm hoping this runs into earnings. I don't hope it's not a strategy, so there's a potential that I lighten the position regardless, and then I will take some upside calls. As you know, I've been on record. I've done very well. I'm not trying to toot my horn here, but I did really good on SanDisk, really good on Seagate, really good on American Eagle. I think I'm going to take a shot at this. So I was looking at the calls. I like 250. 250 calls to me is something I'm going to gamble on, only what I'm willing to lose. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to trim my position in my trading account and take calls. See how that works out. Okay. Hood. You guys know I sold Hood weeks ago or months ago. This has been on a clear downtrend. I still own it in my IRA. It really sucks. I was up 180 or 170% on this. I probably gave back 30. So today really got shot. They're linking this to Bitcoin. I don't really know that I would link this to Bitcoin. I know there were some other headlines today. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to buy more in my IRA today, only for the simple fact that it's for long-term purchase, because this is not a tradable chart. For those of you that are interested in this long-term, I think this is giving you a little bit of an opportunity. I would not go ape into this right now because this looks like shit on a chart, but I think long-term, this is going to be good, and I'm not interested in trading this at all. So that's that. IMNM is still working out very nicely. This has really been textbook. I mean, even with those 2 days, you always look for the stocks in relative strength when the market is correcting or has a down day. This held up beautifully both Thursday and Friday. Admittedly, I bought more shares. This is starting to take over one of my largest positions now, and up 5% today. I couldn't be happier. I think this is just getting started. So this is not financial advice. Rather, this is for educational purposes. RGTI, Rigetti. I know I got some family members in this. I closed my short on Thursday. It went down again on Friday. I said, shit, I closed it too early. I got back in and it's down again today, and it was down at the end of the Friday. Downtown Susie Brown, $5 incoming. It might have a little pop back day, whatever. Short it when it pops up. Yeah. All right, American Eagle. This has been a good one that has held up really well these last 2 days. Well, the whole market's got shit tanked on Friday and Thursday. Look at this, green on both days. Relative strength. Institutions are holding their, and I also saw, and I'll point this out, where is this? BlackRock even increased their position even more on their last disclosure. Now 14% owning in this, and Vanguard being the second one. If you don't have a little slice of American Eagle in your portfolio, I don't know what you're doing. But again, not for financial advice. Taiwan Semiconductor, another name I really like. Not shying away from this, having a really nice bounce back day. Got over the channel, back into here. I still own this. Did not buy any dips, but I still own it. But realistically looking, look at that 21. Look at where the bottom of these wicks came to the 21 support bounce. You don't need to start breaking out Fibonacci lines and VWAP and all of this shit. If you're a guy who can swing trade this stuff here, look at this. This is giving it to you. It came down that day again, and now bouncing. I mean, it's there for you. Always look at the chart before you take a position or you trade a stock or cut a stock. It might not be the right time to cut. It might be the right time. CERS, I bought the dip of this last week, up 3% today. I'm not advising to go out and buy this. This is a small stock and a small position for me, but I love it. For $2.50, this is volatile. I think this is going on all-time high. Whatever, take it for what it's worth. AEHR, this has been one that I kind of wish I sold before. I did not buy any dip. No, sorry. I bought the dip on Thursday, and then it dipped more on Friday. Bought the dip, but the dip bought me out there. So I do have a stop loss set up. I think I'm even on this trade now, or slightly red, maybe 1%. I was up 10 or 12% on this. Anyways, I have an 8% stop loss set up. I do like this stock, but I don't know that I would say you need to go out and go buy this. All right, Visa, bought this in the IRA, finally having a little snapback today. I don't know how this is going to pan out, but I bought this. I mentioned this. I really like this in the IRA account. Up 3%, just pointing out some of you guys like these slow movers. SanDisk, oh man, up 15% today. And I did not buy this. I sold this day. I sold it on Thursday. I was out entirely of calls. It came down like 15% on Friday. I was thinking about buying it, but the selling was intense. I said, now up 15%. I don't own it, just pointing it out. I had a great trade. This was probably my best trade of the year so far, but pointing out when stocks get moving, these things you're going to have a hard time keeping these down right now. Vanguard also BlackRock increased their position on their last disclosure. I think this is going higher. I'm not buying this because this is just out of control. I needed to come back down again like it did Friday, but I didn't pull the trigger. Whatever. I had a great trade. I had 2 great trades on SanDisk. I'm not complaining. All right. GSIT, I did buy the dip of this Thursday and Friday, up today 3%. This is not doing anything wrong yet. Like, I know everybody was like all fucking pissed off. Sorry, excuse my language. All pissed off. This is not doing anything wrong yet. I still own it. I bought the dip. We'll see. Amazon, I bought Amazon back. I bought Amazon on, so I added to my IRA. And I bought it as a trade on Friday. We'll see how that goes. I kind of like the way this is setting up. However, earnings are in 3 days at the end of this week. It's a trade right now for me. We'll see how that pans out. And finally, LPTH, LightPath. I did buy the dip on this one. I bought this one on Thursday and Friday. Yeah, I'm not going to advise on this one. This is only something I'm in. I got a 12% stop loss. I'm down like 5%. Maybe stay out of that. And then my one for the week that's on my ready list is BTU, Peabody Energy. I am going to buy this today. I take that back. I don't know that I'm going to buy it. I want to see it carve out a low. The low of the day is 33.73. It's 33.95. Maybe a couple dollars more. We'll see what happens on that one. I think that's all I got for you guys today. Again, I'll point out the HYG. Any day you're getting slaughtered in stocks, go check the HYG. Friday, credit was holding up. Credit was snoozing at all of this. This tells you the story. The market's selling off and credit's holding up. Come on. Quantitative easing beginning. Quantitative tapering ending. You got to look under the hood. The RSP through it all. Look what it did on Friday. I mean, like it closed above the 21. That's the equal weight, man. It's you got to let these things breathe a little bit. I'm not saying you can't. You got to be flexible, but man, I mean, I met there was a couple people I saw that sold their entire portfolios on Friday. What are you doing? Like, what are you doing? If you can't take a day like Friday. I know people that sold all their crypto yesterday. I mean, don't get me wrong. And my closing words here is crypto's trash. Let me make this crystal clear for everybody. My belief is crypto is garbage. It's fugazi. It's trash. There's one coin that people should own, and it's Bitcoin. I don't care how much you put in it, whether it's a little slice, a lot slice. I think you should manage that appropriately. I'm not saying to go out and drop all your money in Bitcoin, but you should own it. Just like you should own some gold and you should own stocks, good quality stocks. don't go running out when the panic. Take a step back, breathe, diagnose the market. If the market does shake you out and you have your stop losses, you're okay. Just take a step back, breathe, don't overreact. In life, you don't want to get too hot, you don't want to get too cold. And I just think that I saw so many people overreacting and going crazy. They sold all their gold, they sold all their Bitcoin. It's like, geez, man, so all it takes is you 1 or 2 days and that's already you're running for the hills. And also set your stop loss. I mean, listen, you're a putz if you're buying shit and you're not setting a stop loss. I saw somebody, actually I know somebody who bought Disney. I mean, this guy bought Disney here. They didn't set a stop loss. He's down here. Like, what are you doing, man? Like, what are you doing? All right, don't be a putz. Enjoy the week. Stay warm. It's very frigid out here. And make more money in the stock market, for God's sake. It's right there. In the words of Alec Baldwin and Glenn Ross, the money is right there. You're going to pick it up?